January the 31st, 2025. Guys, it is 7:46 a.m. Central Time as I'm starting this video. You can see the sun is rising over on the eastern half of the country now. We went through here in central Mississippi some pretty good lightning and storms last night. Nothing, no tornadic activity or anything like that, but it rained quite a bit. Starting to clear out some. Most of today will be wet in our area, but it's going to be warm tomorrow, and Sunday is supposed to be sunny and much warmer here in the area. Now, California, you've been catching it with the fires, and you've had landslides and mudslides since that point, but it may be about to get a lot worse, and that's what we want to talk about here. Let me switch this filter, and what they're talking about, guys, is an atmospheric river, and they're calling, I think, the Pineapple Express this time, coming into California on top of all of that damage. Now, it's going to be all along the West Coast, as a matter of fact. Let's look at that. Now, we're going to take a look at this in a couple of different filters. Right now, you can see, again, we were looking at the natural satellite images, and it was showing us this half of this area. But look, coming into from Central California up all the way into Canada, but behind it is a much stronger area. See that? We're going to go to just a straight infrared, and I'll show you the difference in this section and this section as far as the moisture content. Now, looking at this, you can definitely see the difference in the amount of moisture coming into the Pacific camera right there. See that? And you've got a lot of pre-soaking going on, basically from LA up to Canada. This one looks a little thicker, a little more moisture content in it, and it goes for a long ways behind here. So, guys, you're already starting to see some moisture here. Not that much yet, but I did notice for the last few days, a lot of the beaches were closed in Southern California because the ash runoff and whatever chemicals from the rains you were getting down towards the beach and the oceans. So this is going to kind of up the deal that Trump was talking about, getting more water to California. It just may not be real good timing, but you've got to be aware of this. If there was big washouts on the hill by a major interstate or a highway or something like that, those are going to be the dangerous spots for travel. But if your home's in below one of the big areas, we've seen those washouts in the last few years, guys, come down through the California streets and just wash cars and basically a mud flow, homes and everything else. So that is very well the scenario that we could be seeing right here. Zooming into Southern California, you can see this is the Palisades area. Here's your offshore islands. And the moisture that is coming in, that I mentioned was very light, is evaporating as it gets over the drier areas. Notice that right there? That's going to change because this is getting a little bit of moisture in there. It's moistening the air, which is going to stop the evaporation from what's coming from behind it. But guys, that Pineapple Express they're talking about is going to be something major you're going to have to deal with. And if you're in a dangerous area, I would actually think about taking a trip out of town, maybe over to Vegas or somewhere, anywhere, a friend's house, anywhere, if you're in one of the dangerous washout areas, because these things will turn deadly in a heartbeat. I want to back out over the Pacific Ocean for a moment, just to give you an idea. This is what we're seeing coming in on the radar, this front section right in there. But look what's behind it. That's why they call it more or less an atmospheric river. And it's going to bring probably 3 days of moisture into Southern California and much of the West Coast. It's needed, but it's going to be a lot at one time, especially with the burn-off areas. Now, keep an eye on that. Let's just take a look at AccuWeather for a couple of locations in California to see what the rainfall amounts they're predicting could be. Again, this is AccuWeather for Los Angeles, California, which is currently 44 degrees there, partly cloudy. An atmospheric river is expected to bring the biggest rainstorm so far this year to the western U.S. Days of rain and some snow are forecast to hit portions of the Northwest and California, bringing the risk of flooding and landslides. Guys, this is big time. The reason I'm doing it is because it's going to be very dangerous. A flood can be just as deadly as a fire. Days of rain are forecast to hit portions of the Northwest and California, bringing the risk of flooding and landslides. While the rain may subside a little more quickly in some locations, snow is expected to take its place and bring a new set of challenges. A major weather event known as the atmospheric river is forecast to unfold today and continue into the middle of next week, sending waves of moisture to the west coast. Again, this is coming from AccuWeather. An atmospheric river is a phenomenon that occurs when moisture consolidates and travels a long distance only to be deposited somewhere else. This can happen anywhere in the globe, but is often noticed along the west coast of the U.S. The funneling of tropical moisture, specifically from the Central Pacific near Hawaii into the U.S., is known as the Pineapple Express. Now you can see the area that they're talking about. It's almost the entire west coast of the U.S. Check this out, all the way down to Mexico. But it's going to be Vancouver, Seattle, Portland, Medford, Redding, all the way down through there. And they're talking about over the next week, the Pineapple Express is expected to unload on the Pacific Northwest and the northern half of California, bringing the risk of flooding, rain, and snow. Southern California, watch it also. It says through Monday, the atmospheric river is expected to point right to the northern California coast, bringing with it the biggest rainstorm so far this year. That's why we got to be careful. Now, you need the moisture, and I think this may help in the long run, guys, because, again, Trump has sent people in there to open the gates, is what he calls it, and stop letting all the water out into the Pacific Ocean that runs down from Canada and the Rockies and everything else, and re-moisten the Great Valleys there, Napa Valley, all of that. And that will become the breadbasket of this nation. We won't be as dependent on other nations for that, and it should be much healthier, especially if RFK Jr. gets in. Now, take a look at this map real quick, guys. It's showing 8 to 12 inches in the dark green, and this is for much of California. Here's Redding, here's Chico, Reno, Santa Rosa. You're getting out of the heavier part, San Francisco, right in here. But again, you're already seeing some moisture in Southern California, so don't take your eyes off that. But again, 8 to 12 inches, that's a lot of rain. It's going to be the heaviest so far. 4 to 8 outside of that area, 2 to 4 in the kind of lime green there, and then the pale green, 1 to 2 inches. So think about it. Between rain and snow, this is a tremendous amount of moisture. Now would be the time to trap it for this next year's growing season. I remember in the Trump video, they talked about a farmer could only plant, because of the lack of water, 1 acre out of 100. And the California politicians were fine with that. They could buy from China. They're slave masters. Now, quickly, about twice a year, our major sponsor, which is My Patriot Supply, we've been with them for over 12 years, I think now, they put this Alexa Pure water filtration system on sale at a pretty good price. We saw it last year. Remember, a lot of you guys came in there at that price. Right now, if you'll come over here and click on this, they emailed us this morning before daylight. Click on this click on this ad, holds over 2 gallons, reduces 206 contaminants. I have them. It's the best. The only reason I would put it here is it is the best. I've had them for years. Click there and check out the prices. And if you're familiar with it, you'll see what a good price this is. $167.95. That comes with a filter, and that thing lasts forever, guys. It's $112 off, or 40%. If you got a credit card, no credit check, 5 payments of $33.59 on your credit card. Learn more and click there. It comes with a filter that we've used over 5,000 gallons through our filters, and you can add 3 or you can add 4 totally into these, because they got pre-cut slots that are plugged unless you need them in the top tank, so you could add more filters if you wanted more filtration. Guys, it's very handy. It folds into itself. Basically, one canister fits into the other, and you can take it camping. It doesn't matter. You can come here and read all of the stuff that it gets out. We use it mainly because the water tank that we have in this rural district, They put a lot of chlorine or fluoride in it. It smells like a swimming pool about half the time, but you cannot tell it when it comes out of here. That alone was worth it to me. But we don't, as a matter of fact, our ice, all of our cooking water, tea, coffee, all of that goes through here. And guys, at $33.59, it's the best investment you can ever make. You can live without food a lot longer than you can live without water. So make sure you have that. Use it every day in your home. Have it ready. We have some filters in the back that we can either grab for a bug out situation or just down the road use. You can get a 4-pack of them, just scan through the water filtration systems here, but it's the #1 in the world. It does more as far as filtering out contaminants than anything that we have seen. I've never been disappointed in it one time, and if you decide to get one, on our front page of BP Earthwatch, we just saw, go down and look at the Alexa Pure add-on called the AquaFlow Max. It's something we built in patent. We build it here and we ship it. It adds into here. It's very inexpensive, but it doubles or triples the outflow rate because you have the air exchange you need. We're watching it, guys. Don't miss the sale. It came out early. That's telling me that they're going to sell quickly. Heads up, be safe.